Hansel and Gretel. Not far from the forest lived a woodcutter with his son named Hansel, Gretel and the daughter of the second wife. Contrary to what the woodcutter worked from morning till night, his family was starving. One night, when the children were asleep, the wife said to her husband, "It cannot go on like this. Tomorrow take your children to the forest and leave them there." "What do you mean, crazy woman? If the children stay in the forest, they will die," Woodcutter cried. "They will die if they stay here. Do not die of a wild animal and from hunger, and so we will be able to live," continued stepmother. The children heard a terrible call. Hansel went secretly out of the house and collected the white pebbles. The next morning, the whole family went to the forest. As they walked, Hansel threw stones on the road. Towards noon the stepmother said, "Stay here and eat bread, and so we go cut wood, and then come back and pick you up. Do not worry, coming soon the moon to light the stones, which I threw on the road." And so it happened. Pebbles shone on them, and the children returned home. When they saw the father, very pleased, but a stepmother did not have time to hide his displeasure. It took some time. The wife again started a conversation with the husband. Hansel, who no longer trusted his stepmother, listened attentively to the conversation, which she started with his father. "When I heard the people think they live again in the forest, I wanted to leave the house to gather white pebbles, but DVE was closed." The next morning the stepmother gave one piece of bread each child and they went into the woods. For Hansel crumbled bread on the road, then to go back on the crumbs. Soon the parents left the children and left. Gretel began to cry, "Leave us alone again, Hansel. Now what do we do?" "Do not worry, sister. Go to follow me. Crumbs of bread will show the way to the house." Tried to calm her brother. "How much time has passed? Birds pecked all the crumbs. This time the children get lost. Come, wander through the woods." And when it was dark, Prianichny saw one house, and the windows were made of sugar. Children close to the house of Hansel and broke off a piece of the wall, which was made of chocolate. Gretel feast beginning part of the window. When the children ate with gusto, they heard a voice, "Who eats my house?" And at that moment there was a smiling old woman who told them, come on, kids, have you lost? Do not worry, I will feed you." And so she did. Then he prepared clean bed and put his brother and sister to sleep. The children were fascinated by the warmth and care, so they slept. But when we woke up, the good-natured old woman turned into a terrible witch, which closed in the cage Hansel, Gretel and made everything clean, wash and cook. Every day the girl was preparing one large dish of food, and wore his brother according to the commandment, which is, every night before going to sleep. The wicked witch came to the cell and said, "Show me your hand, I want to touch her, she is plumper." And Hansel enjoyed the fact that the witch was blind. She filed a bone found in the cell. But the old woman was wondering why the boy did not like fullness of sound and fatty foods. When the witch got tired of waiting, she said, "Gretel, tomorrow, I'll eat your brother, no matter fat or thin." At dawn, the witch ordered to light a fire and put a big vat of water. When all was ready, the wicked old woman wished that the girl shoved her head into the oven, to check if there is enough hot. "It is hot." Gretel guessed that want to bake it, and innocently said, "I do not know how to open the oven. Be kind to show me." Impatient old woman said, "All right, what, you're useless and stupid, not fit for what not? Well, that will soon be over my expectation." The witch opened the oven and bent down to stick his head in. The girl pushed her inside and closed the lid with all his strength, so the witch could not get out. Once I opened the cage with his brother and told him that the old woman died. Children opened the closet where the witch kept the jewels and treasures, was put in a bag and quickly went from there. They walked for several hours until they came to the river, but the bridge was not around. Then Gretel offered to take Hansel. "Look, let's ask the white duck take us to the other side." Sooner said than done. White duck, they moved to the other side, and the children have learned this part of the forest. Let's go down the path, and came to his home. His father saw his children and wept with joy that they were alive. A stepmother died in anger. The children told their father what had happened, gave him a bag of jewels, which have in the house and from that moment, the three began to live happily ever after.